Yo, what is going on, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to episode 2 of One Deck, One Month, featuring Marincess Act 2. It is Saturday right now, just before I need to leave for locals. I think it's just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon or so. And it's going to be a very, very exciting event tonight because this is our first official tournament with Power of the Elements cards being fully legal and on the table for everyone to use. And people have had a whole week since Sneak Peek to get their hands on the new cards. And I know of at least maybe 3, 4, 5 people that are going to be on new decks. My two friends, Dan and Adam, I know they're going to be on the Tearlament Shadal deck tonight as well. So yeah, we're going to have potentially a lot of new threats to have to worry about now that the set is finally out. It's officially out. So with that being said, there are some things we do need to change about the deck in the side deck and specifically in the hand trap lineup. But I want to talk to you guys about one small change that I've made to like the core of the deck, a change that I've been kind of hesitant on over the past couple weeks of playing this deck, but I think now I'm going to finally give it a try and see if I hate it or if I love it. And that small change is bumping Pascalis to 3. I feel like hands that you start with Pascalis and another name just give your combo the ability to play through more hand traps. Makes everything a little bit more robust, and opening up Pascalis plus Blue Tang, Chef's Kiss, just a really, really strong opening if you ask me. I feel like sometimes starting Pascalis gives you enough extra cards on board, you know, with the extra body that you start with, that allows you to save Blue Slug later in the combo. So potentially if you do get Nibiru, you have a potential Splash Mage follow-up, right? Like if you get hit with a Nib and you have a dive you didn't need to use because you had the extra body from Pascalis, you can bring something out, make a Slug, add back a name you haven't used yet, maybe you discarded off a Triangle, whatever it may be, summon it to the board, and then make Splash Mage, bring something back, make Marbled Rock, and your wave is still live, right? So in theory, I think Pascalis gives the deck just a little bit more of that, something that it needs to help beat more hand traps, because the Sprite deck does play a ton of them. A lot. I've seen some lists play 18, which is just a ton of hand traps. And it also helps the deck, with follow-up, getting back Battle Oceans, dives, and waves, which is very, very important. And that's the only change. I've been hesitant on making this change solely because Pascalis cannot summon Pascalis. If you see 2 copies of Pascalis, it's kind of rough. It's really, really rough, but I just don't know, after thinking about it for so long, is that potential confliction really warrants me not ever playing 3? I personally, looking back now, don't think so. I've been playing 2 for a long time. Hasn't been an issue. Let's bump it up to 3 and see what happens. We'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully everything goes well. Now, I do have my list here pulled up on Dueling Book. It does need some changes. I made these tweaks the other night. I don't think I'm going to actually go through with how this list looks right now, but I'll go ahead and show you guys real quick. So yeah, there, as you can see, that is the full deck list right there. All of this stuff, on this side here, minus the wave, all that's pretty much set in stone. The talents I'm keeping for sure. It's just this bulk of cards over here that are all the hand traps. The one Nib is probably just going to be the 3rd Ogre again, or it might just be 2 Nib and I cut the Mourner completely, although I really do like Mourner against the Tearlament deck. But then again, if we have, DD Crow in our main deck, then again, maybe we don't need it. Ogre and Nibiru are still really strong against Adventure decks and even Sprite decks. I know everybody's afraid of Nibiru because of Gigantic Sprite, but you're going to be pairing your, Nibiru with other things like Imperm, Veiler, etc., Wave even, and Ogre also just helps to be Gigantic Sprite too. Now the side deck is a little bit different as well. If I do main 2 Nib, I'll probably side the 3rd. The Mourner's probably going to become something else, I'm not sure. The Dweller is definitely going to stay in the side deck. Ghost Spells might come in as well, because the Ghost Spells are going to get sided in, and the Ogres and the Nibs are going to get sided out against the Tearlament deck, because those are absolutely awful. So those are kind of the siding patterns there. And then the extra deck, I'll just zoom in a little bit. The extra deck is not changing at all. I think the extra deck is actually flawless. I just think it's, I don't want to say solved, but it's pretty damn near close to being solved. So that is the list. I'm going to spend a few minutes here while I have some time to kind of tweak the hand trap lineup. And whatever I end up getting the deck list looking like, something that I'm happy with to take to locals with, I'll put up on the screen right here for you guys. so you can see exactly what I'm going to be playing in tonight's tournament. Again, first tournament with Power of the Elements cards officially legal. I'm very excited. I hope you guys are excited too. And yeah, I guess this is where we begin the B-roll montage of me heading off to the tournament. Alright everybody, welcome to round 2. Here we are playing against Dino. I'm going to pause real quick for a second. I wanted to showcase this match in particular because it did come down to the absolute wire by every sense of the meaning, and can't wait for you guys to see that. It's very like epic conclusion to the duel. Yeah, this matchup is definitely scary. This is like a rogue deck that is like always kind of living rent-free in the back of my head and just have like PTSD when it comes to playing Dino, because the deck can just OTK out of nowhere, put up some extremely oppressive boards, and sometimes it's just like insane, right? A lot of people tend to forget about it. Thank God Misk is at 1, and hopefully it stays that way for a long time. But this match can also be problematic to us Marincess players for a couple reasons. UCT is insane. Sometimes just booking the normal summon outright is good enough, unless you have Blue Tang plus Spring Girl. Then, you know, maybe it isn't enough, but they can also set up Dolka, which is kind of huge. Not to mention Lost World giving you the token prevents you from activating effects that would target the opponent's monster, so that's turning off things like Wave, turning off things like Veiler and Imperm. So that's also very problematic. And also, some Dino decks, I don't know if it's standard practice for Dino players today, but this Dino player here in particular, Big Killer Jeff, the Dino father, if you will, loves to play Kaijus in this deck. So Kaijus also tend to be a bane of this deck's existence. And you're going to get to kind of see how I try to adapt in this particular matchup, taking into account all of these things. And also kind of want to showcase an interesting interaction involving a different Marincess card that could have came in very clutch to help play around things like Kaiju in this match as well. So let's hop right into it. I do win die roll here, and I'm going to opt to go first, of course. Although even if I did lose die roll, I'm sure my opponent would opt to make me go second, since the deck likes to go second. I do start by normal summoning the Spring Girl, going for the Slug, adding back the Spring Girl. I could have started with the Seahorse in hand, but I wanted to play around DD Crow as much as I possibly could. So then we summon out the Sleepy Maiden. We're going to go into Anemone, and then we're going to go ahead and use the Anemone effect here to bring back the Sleepy Maiden. And then we're going to go ahead and link into the Coral Triangle. Anemone is going to add back the Sleepy Maiden, then Coral Triangle effect, importantly discarding the Sleepy Maiden to get it in the graveyard where it is most valuable now at this point. And we're also going to get our Search of Wave. So at this point, we've also kind of passed the Ash check. Most people are going to hit the Coral Triangle with some form of hand trap to prevent you from getting to Wave. So at this point, I'm kind of confident he probably doesn't have any hand traps, and his hand is probably just board breakers, as it usually is. So we're going to go ahead and summon out the Spring Girl here, and we're going to link it into the Sea Angel. I always love linking the Sea Angel, or linking the Spring Girl off or Sea Angel, because you can chain block, much like you can Blue Tang. So we're going to go Chain Link 1 Spring Girl, Chain Link 2 Sea Angel. So we get to mill 2 cards off the top of the deck and search a Marincess spell. We mill a dive, so our opponent is going to take 200 damage there, right time in the round, only if, I mean, it has happened sometimes, but not in this situation. So we're going to go ahead and add the Battle Ocean, since we already have dive, activate the Battle Ocean, and then we're going to go ahead and link 4 here. I'm trying to like test my opponent right now to see if they have Nib, right? Because a lot of people will usually, like, if they see you're not summoning Crystal Art and they know what the deck does, they'll usually like Nibiru on the link 4. But also at this point, I want to point something out. This is where I could have been big brain here to try to beat Kaijus. I usually do this when I play against Cyber Dragon, because of Contact Fusion gets rid of your link 4, turns off your wave. So it's 2 interruptions. You lose outright to just something you can't even respond to, like Contact Fusion or Gamma Seal. There was a way to beat a Kaiju here, and that was to activate Dive, summon a blue tank from the deck, and send a Mandarin. Now I know what you're thinking, Winter, you're not playing Mandarin, but this is an example where Mandarin could have come up. We could have dived out the blue tank, send a Mandarin, summon Mandarin, made Splash Mage. Splash Mage bring back the blue tang, and then link those into Marble Rock, get the effect of blue tang, add a card back, and now even if he Gamma Seals over the Aqua Argonaut, right, we can still use our wave. So that is a line where, you know, the Mandarin could have potentially come up. So I wanted to go ahead and fill you guys in on that. And my opponent Ghidorah's over the Aqua Argonauts, where a Gozen match would have come in insanely clutch as well, but this is game 1. Don't main the Gozen match. I don't think it's, you know, that great to main deck. Then my opponent has Pankratops, and this is where things kind of get out of hand. So I have Imperm, and my opponent's going to snipe the Imperm with the Pankratops, and I think the only other interruption I have in my hand is the Wave, which is unusable right now, and also Talents isn't doing anything either. And at this point, you're just going to kind of see a bread and butter OTK from my opponent here. And we'll just go ahead and let this play out at a higher speed, because there's really nothing else I have to say. The only thing I wanted to mention is this is a game where Mandarin could have potentially come up as an additional extender to be able to help get into Splash Mage and help dodge Kaijus, right? It's one thing in this matchup, because like a lot of decks really aren't playing Kaijus right now. So like that's like a weird line that would only come up against a deck that you think is playing Kaijus. Most of the time, it's going to be Lava Golem your opponent is going to have in their deck. Most of the time, it'll be in the side. Again, this is a rare exception where they're going to have like something like Gamma Steel and other Kaijus in the main. But you know, against other decks like Tyrant Sprite that are playing things like Sphere Mode or Lava Golem, you don't really want to make a play like that. So Mandarin might not come up in those meta scenarios because you're just playing into the Lava Golem at that point. And there's the double UCT. So we're going to go ahead and admit defeat and take a look at game 2 now. So getting into game 2 here, we are going to open like a bread and butter combo. It is the 3-card combo, but it is going to help us actually either, you know, beat Nibiru or play through it. So we open up the Pascalis plus another level 4 plus a body, and that body happens to be the Spring Girl. We target the Pascalis, and then we go ahead and make the Bahamut Shark, summon the Toad, link off the Sleeping Maiden and the Bahamut into the Coral Anemone here, and we do have access to Spring Girl, which is nice, so we can chain block, milling 2, milling Blue Tang, Spring Girl, burning for 400, and we're also getting our chain block search of either Dive or Battle Ocean. And we're going to go ahead and grab the Battle Ocean here, activate the Battle Ocean, and then we're going to go for a link 3 of Coral Triangle, and we're going to go chain link 2 Anemone, chain link 1 Battle Ocean, and I just don't equip, I guess. Forgot to equip. That's funny. I declared the effect, but I just forgot to equip, I guess. So summon Spring Girl, banish Spring Girl, link for the Blue Slug. Blue Slug will add back the Spring Girl. We'll discard the Spring Girl. This way we can get an extra body on field and still have a way to discard for the Coral Triangle. This line comes up a lot in these scenarios where we don't use Slug early on. And now we're going to go ahead and link for the Bubble Reef. Since, again, I don't have a way to stop a Kaiju here, I definitely don't have enough extenders to get into a way to beat a Kaiju. So I'm going to go for the Bubble Reef, because this way I can try to draw in the standby phase. It's either going to force an interruption, or I get a free card before I lose my link for free to a Kaiju. So we go and resolve Desires. We set an Imperm, and we have Ash in hand as well. And we're going to go ahead and pass turn there. So we have a way to draw. We have a Toad, and I think this is as good as it's going to get right now. So we're going to go ahead and standby phase, banish the Bahamut Shark, and go ahead and pick up a card. But my opponent has, you know, a different plan. He's going to actually Ash the Bubble Reef, which is interesting. But, you know, I guess it's still kind of doing its job. It's, you know, would have potentially given me a card, but is also making my opponent lose a card. And then my opponent has a Lightning Storm, which I do go ahead and negate with a Toad. So we do set the Lightning Storm. We do add back, because, you know, if we lose our entire field, having Lightning Storm as leverage is kind of nice. My opponent's going to normal baby Ceratosaurus. Use Visa Starfrost to pop it, right? Low-key Dino support. We do Ash the baby. And since he's already committed his normal summon, right, he's already used 3 cards. I'm feeling pretty confident, you know, going ahead and ashing that. And my opponent is going to go ahead and set 2. Just give him a rundown on everything that, you know, is on the field. A lot of people ask, like, do the equips give the link anything else? No, it's just 600 attack each. Standby phase, we're going to go ahead and banish Toad to draw, get it out of the grave, so it's not a Monster Reborn target, not an Area the Water Charmer target, right? Get it out of the grave as soon as possible. And we're going to start our turn by normal summoning Blue Tang. Very strong normal summon here. And we're going to go ahead and dump another name here. It's just going to be Pascalis, which is great. Again, for follow-up to get back Waves, Dives, Battle Oceans, etc. And we're going to go ahead and use the effect of Bubble Reef to discard Blue Tang to go ahead and special summon back the Spring Girl. And my opponent is going to chain summon limit to that. So that will be my second and last summon for the turn, as I am not able to actually out the summon limit this turn. So we're going to go battle phase, swing over the Visa Starfrost, swing in with both the Spring Girl and the Blue Tang, which, keep in mind at this point, are boosted by 200 attack apiece, and, you know, the Bubble Reef is at 52 as well. So we're just going to go ahead and be forced to just pass turn there. Not much else we can do. We got a loaded spell and trap lineup, so can't do much else there. Stand by phase, banish and draw. He does not imperm it. My opponent does have a Harpy's Feather Duster, but that is the last card in his hand, and he's not able to do anything else this turn. So he goes ahead and just passes after that. We draw, and we have enough game on board, or enough damage on board to go for game, so that's exactly what we do. And luckily I didn't summon anything else, right? Didn't get greedy. I just kept my head clear. Like, I have game on board, no reason to do anything else. And we played around a Torrential in that way, because we could have just lost to a Torrential, and then we're under summon limit, and my opponent tops a UCT. We're just not coming back from that. So playing it smart there definitely came in clutch. So we're going to go ahead and go into game 3 here, where I do get made to go first here. This is something I kind of expect a lot of Dino players to do. It might not be common practice for all Dino players, because this Dino player here is not your average Dino player, but I did expect him to make me go first here, so I did decide to go first. He probably thought, I was going to decide to go second, because, you know, he just lost, so he's going to want to go first, set up a board, so he's going to try to play a mind game with me, and also his deck is, like, inherently good at going second, so, like, those two reasons, you know, made me want to go ahead and side first. I'm like, I know he's going to make me go first, and he has the inherent advantage of, like, his deck's, like, pretty decent at going second. So I did decide to go first here, and you will see, especially off the Blue Tang reveal, that will confirm my decision to go first. So we're going to go ahead and normal summon Blue Tang, and we're going to go ahead and send Spring Girl, and then we're going to go ahead and link off the Blue Tang into the Slug. Chainlink 1 Slug, target Spring, Chainlink 2 Tang. Got to be like one of my favorite ways to start the turn. We reveal 3, Ash, Gozen, and Dive. So there's that Gozen match in the main deck right now to try to beat Kaijus. And Gozen really isn't half bad against the Dino deck. If they start with Oviraptor, they're just not getting UCT on field since it is a light. We then special summon the Seahorse. And my opponent also wanted to re-dive here as well. And I'm also trying to establish a rank 4 play this turn. I was trying to do a line that would, like, check for Nibiru, and then still allow me to make a rank 4 past that, but I really couldn't, like, make up my mind. There was no real way to beat Nibiru with this hand, and I think I just realized that no matter what I did, I was gonna get hit really hard by Nibiru. So I was just like, you know what, if my opponent has it, they have it, and we're just gonna play it out, right? So, and you can see where, like, I get the lines conflicted in my head as I go Paskless, you know, summon from deck, you know, bring out the Spring Girl from hand, and then I make Anemone, and then Anemone revives something. I think I was just trying to, like, get as much advantage as I possibly could. I think that's maybe what I was trying to do. I also could have, like, linked off the Spring Girl there to try to mill a lot of cards. I don't think I used her graveyard effect to mill, so that would have been like a mill 3. So I think I gave up that opportunity, which would have been nice, especially if this is game 3 and we're getting close to time, which I don't think we were, like, that close. Yeah, we're like 26 minutes into the round, so we're not that close. Still like 14 minutes left, so I guess getting up in burn damage wouldn't have been so bad. But now once we make the triangle, once we search our wave, we're going to go for Bahamut. Bahamut effect attach. No response there, so I'm like, all right, we're in the clear. And then we're going to link for the Aqua Argonaut, and we're going to go ahead and equip 3. And, yeah, saving the Battle Ocean there just at the very end, just to protect from Ogre, since I have Toad on board already. We're going to set a card, and we're going to pass. And this is the game I'm talking about that comes down to, like, to the absolute wire by every sense of the meaning. Like I said at the very beginning, I've got Wave in hand, I've got Crow, I've got Set Imperm, I've got Aqua Argonaut, I've got Toad. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 interruptions, I believe. 4 interruptions for my opponent to have to deal with. And, the other thing here is, like, my opponent, like, opened up extremely well to be able to get into, like, to be able to go into this board. He has the Gamma Seal, so even if I had Gozen match, like, wouldn't have done a whole lot. Rivalry would have, though. Rivalry definitely would have done something better, so, but I also would have gotten rid of my own Toad, so it really would it have done something, you know? But either way, he's going to Gamma Seal over top of the Aqua Argonaut, so there's an interruption. We do get a card back off of the Anemone, at least, again, another reminder why you should always equip Anemone to your Link 4s, or whatever the link you're making is, so you can get the add back when they clear it. And then he's going to Imperm the Toad. Imperm on Toad. I should have 100% negated the Imperm and just took it, and got another card back. That was a mistake. Not a huge mistake, but one that definitely could have maybe mattered. So now my opponent is going to go ahead and activate the Fossil Dig here to search the baby, and then he's going to go ahead and activate Lightning Storm, and this is the moment that mattered. If my opponent would have called back row there, I think we would have lost the game, but my opponent decided to call monsters, and it did not work out well for him here. So he's going to go normal baby, get the token, then Visa Starfrost the baby away. Baby's going to summon Oviraptor. Oviraptor's going to search UCT, and then I believe he uses UCT effect here, you know, targeting the token on field to attempt to blow it up. And I had Crow in hand, so I Crow the card he was trying to revive. And at the time, we were both under the understanding that the Oviraptor would not resolve if I Crowed the level 4 lower Dino in Grave. I don't know if that's actually how that works. That's just kind of how we went with it. Somebody can feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that, if we were wrong. So then he's going to sync for Baron either way, which Baron with the field spell interactions just busted. Absolutely busted. So then he's going to go ahead and activate Baron's on field effect, target the token to attempt to blow it, save it with Lost World, blow it up, I should say, save it with Lost World, and then he's going to go ahead and dump a Petit Pteranodon or another baby. I know the graveyard's cut off. He's going to summon out Misk, and then he's going to summon out the UCT, and he goes battle phase, and doesn't get enough for a game here. If he would have Lightning Stormed the back row and attacked over the monsters as they were, he would have left me at 100, which is still enough to go for Gustav. But since he didn't clear the back row, I'm able to imperm the Gustav and completely foil his plans. Although you could argue he could have just left the Baron and the UCT on field and tried to let me play through that. I would have held the imperm, obviously, and then at the start of the turn, I'm just going to imperm the UCT, and then all I have to worry about is a Baron. Or I could have just impermed the Baron and then, you know, triangled out like I am now for Coral and the Sea Angel, and then link for Marble Rock and get Wave in play, and that way I can stop the UCT at will pretty much. But now I'm just going to basically dismantle the field. This is what the turn 3 follow-up plays of Marincess are like. I do have Dweller ready now, so if I'm not able to go for game, I can shut off some very powerful effects next turn. And we're just going to go ahead and link into the Marbled Rock. We're going to go ahead and equip and add back a couple cards here. We're not going to equip the Aqua Argonaut. We're always going to keep that in the grave, just so we can make a little saucy play like we're about to. We're going to add back the Seahorse. Spring Girl is importantly going to banish the Aqua Argonaut, so we can get it banished to bring back with a Bubble Reef. We're going to go ahead and equip 3, and then Bubble Reef effect, discard the Seahorse to go ahead and special summon back the Argonaut. Argonaut is going to use its effect on the Sea Angel and the Gustav. We're going to go ahead and successfully recycle a resource and clear a big body on his field. Everything is up by 5. All waters I control up by 5. All Marincess are up by 2. But again, all non-dinos are losing 5, so we got to calculate the attack here properly. We're going to go ahead and swing in with everything just over the Misk. And I don't think this is game. So I just go ahead and set one and pass. And just hope he doesn't top deck well. We Dweller, we draw in the standby phase, and that is going to be enough. My opponent drew Summon Limit. So yeah, we end up taking the match there 2-1. Super nail-biter scenario. We would have lost, I think, 100% had he Lightning Storm the back row. But yeah, what a match. And we'll take it back to me at locals. Alright guys, we just wrapped up round 2, which I think is going to be a match that I'm going to go over, so you guys have already seen that. It was a very, very intense match. Could have probably gone the other way very, very easily had my opponent done, like, maybe Lightning Storm on back, or maybe that would have changed things. I don't know. I think that's probably about the only thing that could have been done differently to make a difference in the outcome. Set Imperm, so clutch. That was like so clutch, because I saw it was exactly 2,000. Imperm's going to go in here. We had Talons, we had Triangle Engrave, feeling good. Round 1 I played against a mutant deck. Shout outs to Sheen. Nicole was playing Sheen's list. He's the mutant master. You guys have seen him on the channel before. Really, really cool deck. It was a really fun match. Ended up winning that 2-1. Only lost in game 2 because of there can be only one. Still the bane of the deck's existence. Didn't see any spell trap removal. Well, I did see a Twin Twister, and I had Desires and Twin. I drew for turn. I was like, maybe she'll negate the desires with the mutant beast. She didn't negate it, and then I went twin, negated the twin. Makes sense. Only wish I would have drawn like another twin off of the desires or another form of back removal, but we didn't. We just lost very quickly after that. And then game 3 went first, did our normal combo, and was able just to like seal the deal there basically. Goes and match, went in very, very well against that deck too. Also picked up another box of Power of the Elements. Don't really know what I'm trying to get out here. Ultimate Slayer would be really nice. I think that's the only other card from this set I want to get. I'm also trying to help out a friend get some like Sprite cards because he doesn't have any blues. But if we can pull an Ultimate Slayer in a blue, I think that'd be a very, very good box. Might get another one. Maybe. Maybe I shouldn't. But I might. But maybe I won't. But yeah, that's a little mid-tournament update. I'll update you guys after the tournament is over. All right, everybody, Locals is in the books, and yeah, we ended up going 3-1. It was a little scuffed there at the end because my round 4 opponent, his opponent left, and my round 4 opponent also was dropping / leaving. So I had a bye basically in the 4th round. So I played one of my good friends, Mr. Fields, and we played like an exhibition match. He was playing Despia, and I won 2-1, I think. I'm really not going to go over that match because it doesn't count, but like it was a pretty bread and butter match. My only loss was to the Tri-Brigade strategy, which is my friend John, who is moving away today. And this is his last Locals, probably here for who knows how long, so shout outs to my boy John Javer if you're watching this. He hasn't played in a while, and he just showed up playing Tri-Brigade, a deck he's not familiar with, and just straight up clapped me with it. So, mad respect to him for that. And also going 4-0 on a deck he had very little practice with. Although he got off easy game 3. I opened up just Pascalis, double talents, and he didn't hand trap me. It was unfortunate. And, picked up some Pokemon cards. We're going to open our OTS packs at the end of the video. I think I'm going to start doing that more often. We still have the OTS packs. Our box opening was Power of the Elements box. It was mediocre. And yeah, I think that's all I want to say. We're going to go home and eat some food as per usual. And yeah, that's pretty much a wrap on Locals. That's a 3-1 finish. I think we went 3-1 last Saturday. So doing pretty good. That's a 6-2 record overall. All right, everybody, we are back from Locals, and I gotta say, I'm kind of excited to see what is in these 2 OTS packs, but I also want to show you guys some other things here, some things that I picked up on the side. Got 2 Moray of Greeds, or Avarice, Moray of Avarice, or whatever it's called. What is this thing called? Moray of Avarice. Low-key Mermail support. Like, low-key, like, actually good Mermail support. I really like that. It's got me thinking. Also got this bad girl right here, a First Ed Secret Rare Tour Guide. Shoutouts to my man Joel for just giving this to me as a gift. Very, very, very kind. Extremely kind of you to do that. It is going to complete the playset now. Don't know when I'll be using Tour Guide next in a deck, but next time I need to, you know we're staying strapped with a playset of First Ed Secrets. And of course, if you guys know me and you've been watching the series, you know I had to pick up some Pokemon cards as well. So we got a Dialga Origin Form and a Galarian Moltres, looking very, very clean, and are going to look really, really nice in the binder. So let's crack these OTS packs and just talk about how the tournament went. I can already tell there's not an ulti in this one, strictly because there is no indent on the back like there are normally with ultis. We got a super rare Baphomet. I'm going to just do this one in a way where I can't spoil it. Let's see what we get. We got this Thousand Blades man. It's been a while since he's been in the meta. And we got this really stupid token that could have been a Sword Soul token, a Slime token, and yeah, a DD Baphomet super rare. So nothing out of those. I think going forward, I'll try to like save the OTS openings for like the end of the video. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, the only thing I think I want to maybe change going forward is honestly nothing. I literally cannot think of anything to cut. Third Pascalis is going to need more testing though, in all seriousness. So over the course of the week, I will try to get some matches in on the side with the deck, so I can kind of get a better opinion on whether or not I like 3 Pascalus or not. But in theory, I think it's going to be good. Am I missing a Bishark? That Nibiru in round 3 made me miss a Bishark a little bit, because I like being able to stop Nibiru when they have it, as opposed to getting Nibiru'd all the time and hoping I can make something at the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? Like, I feel like it should make sense, instead of like that's why you play a Bishark. And like, Talents is cool, but when they hit you with Nibiru, Talents doesn't like give you stuff on field. It just like potentially gives you something to work with. Whereas like a Bishark's like, I got you. We're gonna put a Toad on board, 5th summon. I don't know. I might come crawling back. I might come crawling back to the Shark build. I don't know, but like I said, I'm gonna give this build another week. At least test it throughout this coming week and see where we go. So that's gonna do it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And as always, Winner Kills signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And like always, a huge thank you goes to our Divine Level channel members who are Tweeter0226, Pony Start, Cadillacs84, Justin Lamb, HEH Cyber, and Mango. Thank you guys so much as always for extremely kind and very generous support of this channel.